Okay. All right. So it says that we're live. So while we wait
Yep.
on Toxic, let's check and make sure that everything is working since this
Yeah,
is our.
I'm gonna check us on Instagram really quick.
We are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
That's right. I don't think do I even follow us on Facebook? Hold on. How do I even get to live on Facebook for us?
You should just be able to go on my page and.
Oh,
it
okay,
should
because
just
I'm
pop
I'm
up.
I'm used to it popping up on the reels and shit.
Yeah, this is all out of whack.
Oh yeah,
This is
okay. So
way
Edgar, I
different.
see you live.
It's live on Facebook. How do I sound? Do I sound like shit?
No, we sound good. My camera quality looks great.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. What about Toxic and Tommy?
Let me take a look.
Recent. Hello.
Yeah, boys, both of you, I want you to say something because there's probably about a 5-second latency on the live. That way I can hear you talk.
Yay.
Yeah.
Live on Facebook for us. Yeah, boys, both of you, I want you to say something because there's probably about 5 latency on the live. That way I can hear you talk.
Yay.
Yay. Good.
All right, let's get this thing rolling then, fellas.
Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. My name is Edgar. I am the host, and the Snug crew is back here once again. Yesterday, we did the night one predictions for SummerSlam with a good guest, Travis from Wicked Bitter, helped me do that prediction. Tonight, the whole crew and myself, we're going to be predicting night two of this weekend SummerSlam. What's going on, fellas? How we doing today?
Doing great, man. Great fucking week for wrestling. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, great week for wrestling for sure. So before we get started with all the shenanigans from night two of SummerSlam, I got to ask you guys, now that we're getting nearer to the actual event this weekend, how have you guys been feeling the build-up so far?
I got to be honest. I feel like there hasn't been much of a build to over half the card. I mean, hell, even you're talking about the World Heavyweight title picture specifically. Gunther and CM Punk have had a 2-week build. You're talking about John Cena and Cody. Barely a build because this is a rematch. It's mostly been Cody cutting promos. I think John talked once. They had one segment together to put him through a table. Women's title pictures are honestly all over the fucking place. So as far as concerned, I think this show is going to be remembered for the matches and whatever hijinks happens in those matches, like i.e. a possible Rock return, a possible Seth Rollins cash in, all that stuff, a possible Sammy heel turn. I think that stuff's going to be what this show is remembered for. I don't think anybody's going to remember the build. I think that's the thing. None of these builds will be what people are talking about. They're going to be talking about if the builds that got us the matches, if the matches produced the way fans were hoping they would and not turning out to be underwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Toxic, what about you, man?
I agree with Bludd. Half of the card doesn't really have a build to it. I mean, unless you're talking about the SmackDown Tag Division and just a little bit the World Heavyweight Championship. In my opinion, there is one, but I'm excited for it. Even if there isn't a build, I'm excited for the show.
The problem here is when it comes to builds, the majority of the WWE PLEs and all of that, they seem to have booked themselves into a corner and scheduled themselves into a corner to the point where when it comes to building actual matches, it is extremely hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got this one this weekend, and then you've got another one like 4 weeks from now.
Yeah, for sure. And both of these nights, both of these cards, we have 6 matches. We have one more Friday Night SmackDown, so I wonder if they're gonna add another match this Friday before the actual show. But I don't know. We'll see. I think it's safe to say that the matches are set for now. So let's get into it, you guys. This is night 2 of SummerSlam 2025. This is a list that I got from CBS Sports. These matches are not in any particular order. But the first match that's on this list, and we're going to start off with a bang here for the undisputed WWE Championship, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes in a street fight. Who do you guys got to win this one, Mr. Bludd?
Okay, so this is going to be one of those ones that is probably going to be an overbooked mess. We all agreed, I think, when we spoke on Monday on the Raw review, that we felt like this stipulation or this match did not need the stipulation of a street fight. We felt like the street fight would have been better served in one of the other matches, like Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross, because that needs something more, because I feel like fans are starting to not care. But as far as it's concerned, it's a street fight. Fine. What that means is there's going to be bullshit hijinks. What that means is we're probably looking at a Rock return, because even if that's speculation and it hasn't been announced, and he's even stated publicly and they've stated on his behalf he will not be back in WWE for some time, I call bullshit. And I'm telling you why. It's the biggest SummerSlam they've ever done. First ever 2-night event. You think the final boss, The Rock, Dwayne the Boulder Johnson with his shiny forehead, is going to miss that SummerSlam? And I know what you're thinking. Well, he missed WrestleMania 41. Yeah, well, WrestleMania 41 wasn't WrestleMania 40. Now, was it? And as far as that's concerned, you got to imagine, why a week and a half ahead of this show do you have the reports and The Rock coming out and saying, I won't be back for some time? Why mention it at all? Why just not say anything? So no, and we all know that WWE has admitted, Triple H has admitted, that they will purposely float fake stories out to the media, to the dirt sheets, to completely get them to misinterpret what the actual story direction is, to swerve everybody. I do not consider myself a fool. And I consider most wrestling fans who are not casuals to be pretty wise to the game, especially now that WWE's Unreal documentary is out. So to believe that The Rock is not coming back is very, very, very hard for me to do at this point in time. I think that's the whole reason this match is a street fight. So there can be a definitive winner, but they're protected because it is, in fact, a no disqualification match. There does have to be a pinfall or submission in the ring, but they can go anywhere they want in the arena. And I think The Rock's getting involved. I got a sneaking suspicion Travis Scott's getting involved, even though they said they cut ties with him. Again, why tell us that you've cut ties with him? Why is that our business? Why tell us that right before the show? So who's going to win? I think we're going with what I totally believed and did a blood drop episode on. We're getting a double turn. I think it's Cody and Cena turning face for John, heel for Cody, but I think Cody sells his soul to The Rock. Or Cody and Cena team up and they turn on The Rock himself, and Cody drags John back to the side of the light. But Cody wins.
I'm stuck on this because of what Bludd has, of the blood drop episode where Bludd said that he thinks there's going to be a double turn, and everything going out that there's supposed to be a massive heel turn over SummerSlam weekend. I'm stuck. And then you have The Rock, you have maybe Travis Scott, you have everyone that can literally, if they wanted to, come out there and get involved. So I'm gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna say Cody. And I don't know if he turns heel. I don't know if he teams up and drags John back to the light. I don't know, but I just know John doesn't come out of this match heel. No matter who wins, John doesn't come out heel.
Yeah, the three of us are in agreement here, boys. I gotta go Cody. I think Bludd's right. I think there is going to be a swap there. I think it's going to be a double turn. I think Bludd is completely right on that. It just makes sense. With everything that we've seen with Cena, there's been this back and forth of him slightly coming back into the light and then right back in the dark. Like during matches, after matches, there's been this in and out thing going on with John Cena. And I have this feeling that Bludd is completely right, that he's turning face. But with Cody, people have wanted this man to turn heel for quite some time now. People have even called him Homelander Cody, which makes sense, especially if he turns heel, because of the fact that he could use that year-long reign that he had to his advantage with that. He can use that as a heel tactic of his. But with this, I think Cody wins. But as I've said before, this is a completely different Cody Rhodes. One that has learned that when it comes to John Cena, you cannot hold back whatsoever. You cannot hesitate, which is why I think John Cena's taking this. I think he's hitting him with the title and just going to win it.
Oh man, this one is kind of hard, man. Because of the street fight stipulation, Cody Rhodes is he's gonna go all out on John Cena. He's gonna have to defend himself with the weapons and stuff. And because of that, I don't think that we can say, oh, Cody's doing some heel shit, because that's basically the whole point of this match is you have to use the weapons. I think it makes sense that we see a double turn on this match, because John Cena, we've seen him put the title down versus CM Punk, right? He was about to hit CM Punk, he put the title down. Is he going to do the same with these weapons? You know, is he going to pick up a steel chair and going to go and hit Cody Rhodes and realize, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do it. It seems like that's the type of attitude that John Cena has been picking up more and more. And then Cody Rhodes is kind of going the opposite way. However, I still think that it might be too soon for Cody Rhodes to turn heel. Because John Cena turned heel, what was it? When did John Cena turn heel? What event was that?
Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. And that was such a big deal, right? Some people were comparing it to when Hogan turned heel, right? It was a big deal. So I think if Cody goes heel at SummerSlam, I'm afraid it might not be as big because John Cena just did it, which seems like not that long ago. However, I already predicted this match yesterday. I'm not going to go back on what I said, and I think that Cody Rhodes is going to win this. But there's so many things that can happen here. The Rock can show up. We can see a double turn. We can see Cody win. Either way, man, I'm so fucking pumped up for this match. It's going to be fucking awesome. That's all I can say. But I'm going to go Cody with this one as well. All right, y'all. The next match. Oh, the next match. I know you guys are ready for this one. You guys are just salivating to see this match. The Women's World Championship. Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. Triple threat match, y'all. Who you got?
Oh, my Lord. Naomi. I mean, look, I know that not everybody is in this panel. In fact, I'm the only one who was on board with Naomi's heel turn from the jump. But I Snug, we all know how you feel about Naomi. You think she's like a Disney villain. But as far as concerned, that promo she cut on, I think it was Monday, was fantastic. The audience is behind her. Sure, her promo was great. The crowd loves her. They're saying her mantra now. They're cheering. She's becoming the cool heel that gets cheered because of her charisma and her that kind of bad bitch energy she gives off. And people love that. You know, she's doing the black tropes, where, smacking the lip trope. She's doing like all the listen, girl, bye, like doing all that kind of Orlando
scratching her weave.
Yeah, like that Orlando hood girl shit, because I'm also only half an hour from Orlando. So I grew up around that. My sisters are literally act exactly like her. So I'm here for it. But like, I feel like you have to have Naomi win. I would honestly feel very upset on her behalf if they took that title off her just after she cashed in and won the damn thing at Saturday night's main event. I feel like that would be such an insult to her when she cashed in Evolution, my bad. Thank you guys. I feel like that would be such too many shows running back to back. I feel like that would be such an insult to her because you gave her the ball, let her run. Like, I would be furious if you waste a cash in just to make her a transitional champion. That would piss me off. I feel like that would insult the fans who have gotten behind her, the fans that are finally loving this heel turn, that are now on board with it. That would insult their intelligence and their engagement with her. I feel like she's one of those strike while the iron's hot situations, and she's really hot. She's getting hot and hotter right now. I think she has to win. I don't need to see another Rhea title run right now. I love her, but she can wait. It's not going to hurt her. Io has had that title twice in the last 2 years. She can wait. Let Naomi carry the ball for a little bit. That's all I'm saying. So Naomi.
Correction, Blood. Io has had that title once. She's had the SmackDown title once too.
That's okay. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Anyways,
She's been a world champion twice already in the last 2 years.
okay. As much as I would say it would make sense for Naomi to, I don't think she is personally, because I mean, coming up on Clash in Paris, I don't want to see Naomi versus Stephanie Vaquer. That's basically what we saw on Monday in the 8-man. We saw a glimpse of that, and I didn't like what I saw there. So I would say Io, but Lord knows she is not going to defend that unless it's at WrestleMania or at some big show. So I gotta go Rhea, because Stephanie and Rhea at Clash in Paris sounds like an amazing match to me. We've already seen a glimpse of that at Money in the Bank, but I want to see them go like one on one. So I'm going Rhea based off of just what's to come in the future. Not that I wouldn't be mad that Naomi defends, but I just don't think she's walking out.
When I made this decision earlier today, I had the same thought process as Toxic here. Clash in Paris is next. And Bludd, you yourself have said that the bigger match for that is Stephanie Vaquer versus Rhea Bloody Ripley. You have said that yourself. And between the three, I'm going Rhea for another reason that Toxic didn't bring up, which is the fact that there is a storyline that we all wished would have ended at WrestleMania. Rhea finally needs to say that she can beat Io. She just does. She needs to finally be able to say that. It should have happened at WrestleMania. It did not. So what I honestly think is happening, I think Rhea Ripley is becoming 2-time World Heavyweight Champion.
I get where you guys are coming from, and first of all, I hate that you guys are right, because now I'm all confused about my prediction. Because at first I was gonna say Naomi, right? Because yeah, she is getting over. As much as I hate it, the gimmick, the people are starting to get behind her. So it would make sense for Naomi to win this one, and the fans would pop if Naomi wins at SummerSlam. The fans would pop big for Naomi. However, Tommy, to your point, if Rhea Ripley wins at SummerSlam, she can't say that she beat Io Sky, because this is a triple threat match. It's not a one-on-one. Toxic, you're absolutely right. The bigger match at Clash in Paris is Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer. So I'm not sure how this is going to go anymore, because Stephanie Vaquer's on a fucking roll right now. I don't see her losing at Clash in Paris, whoever goes in to face her at Clash in Paris.
Question. Don't you think, and hear me out here, boys, The reason I don't want to see Rhea versus Stephanie at Clash in Paris is because I want more fanfare behind Stephanie so I can see Stephanie versus Rhea at WrestleMania. So Stephanie can beat Rhea at Mania. I think that's a bigger match. You're talking about making new stars, making bigger stars. What is a better big sign seal delivered? Hey, rockets on your ass to the moon for Stephanie Vaquer than pinning fucking Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania of all places. That right there, I don't think every dream match needs to happen right now. You got to keep building Stephanie to the point where it becomes a major moment. And here's why. Case in point, the first time Rhea versus Charlotte at Mania didn't go well. Rhea wasn't ready. The crowd wasn't ready. If you rush this, you can do it wrong. You got to let the crowd get behind Stephanie to the point where they don't know who to cheer between Rhea and Stephanie. Because if you put Rhea and Stephanie in a ring together, the crowd's going to cheer Rhea more. And you lose some of that steam off of Steph. So I think you got to save that.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mr. Bludd. So I'm going to stick with my gut, like how Toxic put it, and I'm going to go with Naomi because I do believe that it's going to be Naomi versus Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris, but Naomi can't beat Stephanie Vaquer clean. Stephanie Vaquer, she's too hot right now. They've been building her up like a freaking monster. She's been winning left and right. I don't think Naomi should beat Stephanie Vaquer, but I think they're going to do something, either make it another triple threat match or some type of stipulation to protect Stephanie Vaquer. And I'm going to say Naomi wins at SummerSlam, and she's going to be the one to go on to face Stephanie Vaquer. All right, moving on from one women's title match to another one, the Intercontinental Championship. Our favorite match of the whole entire weekend, Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyrie.
At this point, give it to the ref. Let Jessica Carr get the pin, because I don't really want to see either one of these two with the fucking title anymore. I've said this ad nauseum. I hope I don't have to say it again after this weekend. I'm sick and tired of Lyra's character. I'm sick of it. She's vanilla. She's boring. And then has sparks of interesting fire, but she remains boring majority of the way. I'm also sick and tired of Becky Lynch's heel turn. It didn't work for me the first time she turned heel because the crowd didn't want to boo her. But every time she cuts a promo, and I love Becky, she looks like a fucking Muppet on crack. Because when she cuts, but you, and then you told me that I was crazy, but I'm not crazy. But then I told you, you're gonna have to raise my hand, and the lip thing she always does where she purses. Don't you? I can't believe. And I'm like, dude, are you having a fucking stroke? Like, her heel promos are like a Muppet having a fucking seizure coming down from a crack high. I feel bad for anybody who's fucking ADHD trying to watch her cut a promo. It's insane. I'm not ADHD and I can't fucking focus because she's all over the fucking goddamn place. You wouldn't, you think this, and I told you. And I'm just like, I'm tired of both of you right now. Go away. Both of these women have go away heat with me right now. And that's not a good thing. This is now their third fucking match. And I am sick of it. It should have been over at the last one. At this point, turn Lyra heel because the crowd couldn't give more of a shit about her. Her and her fucking moon shoes on Monday night. And then I hope someone told her backstage, I don't know what the hell that was. Like when she got back to gorilla position, I'm hoping somebody was like, you're Becky Stompers? That we got okay, we got to keep scripting you. You don't know how to cut promos without a script. Horrible. End it. They should have left Bayley in this match, not Lyra. So Bayley could win that fucking IC title so someone who deserves holding it could hold it. But like, I'm done with this. I don't even have a vote for this because I don't give a fuck who wins. Because I genuinely don't care who wins. And
no, you have to pick someone. You have to pick someone.
That's the thing that sucks. I don't want either of them to win.
Nope, you have to.
If I got to pick, it's going to be Becky, because I'll be damned if I sit through another fucking 6 months of Lyra trying.
You know, to be fair, Mr. Bludd, Jessica Carr is a former professional wrestler. She could hold that title better than Becky and Lyra could ever do. So
she spends more time in the ring than either of them too.
Exactly.
She's a current wrestler, I believe, not former. She's currently wrestling.
Oh yeah,
she wrestles in dark matches, but she spends more time in the ring than either of those two women combined.
I thought she made an appearance on Evolve once. Anyways, yeah, just let Jessica Carr get the pin. Let her count the pin too. That'll be funny. Yeah, and then I'm with Bludd. I don't even have a prediction. My prediction is let Jessica Carr get the title. That is my prediction. If I have to pick either of them, it is going to be Lyra, just so Bayley can take it right off of her. Because, like I've said, Lyra shouldn't have even won the dang thing, and it should have been Dakota. It should have been Dakota. But
Thank you. Thank you.
No. She just has to, and I'm nothing against Dakota. She has to be freaking injury prone. That's nothing against her.
Dakota's not in WWE or in this match, so let's get back on track there, Toxic.
Okay. I was getting to my point. Thanks. But yeah, I'm going with Lyra just so Bayley can take it right off of her, because Lyra doesn't even deserve to hold that.
Yeah, I'm also going Lyra here for the same reason. I honestly couldn't give shit about this match whatsoever. But since I have to pick between the two, I am going Lyra Valkyria just for Bayley to come out on Monday and just go, hey, you're over here getting pissed at me for not responding to you. I want that match. Let's do it. Like, that's what I want to happen. I want Bayley to take the title off of Lyra. So I'm going Lyra here, but overall, this is probably going to be the fucking bathroom break for night two. Because nobody's going to give a shit about this match whatsoever.
Well, I might be the only person that's going to care about this match, because I'm going to go with Lyra, and I just want to see Lyra beat Becky Lynch, because that's how much I have not been liking what Becky Lynch has been doing at all as of late. And if I had to pick between Becky or Lyra, I would prefer Lyra. Because remember when people were saying, oh, put the Intercontinental title on Becky, it'll give it some relevancy. You got a big name, It doesn't seem any different than when Lyra had it compared to when Becky had it. It's not any less or more interesting than what it was before. The only thing is, like, Becky was in Happy Gilmore too, and, she's mainstream and Lyra isn't. But on TV in WWE, it's the same. It's not any better when Becky has it. So give it to the younger Lyra. And Lyra being boring, I don't think it's any fault of hers. Becky's trying, but I don't think she's doing a very good job of making Lyra look good. The material that they're giving Lyra is just not good. I mean, the girl's trying. She's young. And I've hated on her segments, but I want to see her get better. And maybe by giving her the win at SummerSlam, maybe the people might actually care. I don't know. So I'm going to go Lyra. We'll see what happens with that one. Moving on to the next match. Toxic, this is your favorite match of the night, I'm going to assume. The TLC match. WWE Tag Team Championships with a whole bunch of fucking tag teams. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. The Wyatt Six, who are currently the champions, versus the DIY, versus the Street Profits, versus Fraxium, versus Motor City Machine, versus Andrade and Ray Phoenix.
This match, if this match doesn't start one of the nights to kick it off, I'll be surprised. Because you want to get the crowd going. It's not only about how you bring the fans in, it's about how you leave them. But if you want to keep that energy strong, you got to start with this match. You risk them getting tired out, but then that's fine. You know why? Because you do this match and then you do Bailey and Becky and Lyra's match. Let the fans relax during that one. But as far as it's concerned, I am hoping to high heaven there are no injuries, because there is a lot of bodies in this match, and a lot, and I mean a lot, of very high-flying prone gentlemen that wrestle in this match. There's going to be probably crazy spots we've never seen before, high spots galore. I think this match is probably going to be the most exciting match of that respective evening, period, point blank. I don't think it's going to be the one that people are looking the most forward to. I think it's going to be the most exciting while you're watching it. It's going to be nuts. But here's the problem. The winner is kind of a foregone conclusion. You just put those titles in the Wyatt Six. You're not going to have them drop them at the biggest show of the year, their first major fucking defense. Sure, they defended them like last Friday, right? But who fucking cares? That's a Friday Night SmackDown. This is fucking SummerSlam. You're going to give them what? One solid defense, lose them on the second defense? I don't see that happening. So I think Wyatt Six retain. Who I would like to win? Fraxium. I want to see the new kids on the fucking roster get some shit, because I told you this. Nathan Frazier, that boy has got it. Him and Montez Ford in this match are the two I am keeping my fucking eyes glued to, because these two are my favorite workers in this entire match. I think it's going to be a barn burner, but I think Wyatt Six kind of have to retain, don't they?
Oh boy, I am excited for this match, mainly because of all of the talent in this. You have DX 2.0, as in DIY. No one really gives a shit about them. Motor City Machine Guns. They came into the business hot, got the tag titles. What, like their third match in? It wouldn't be bad to have the titles on them. They're actually one of my picks for this. I don't see DIY or the Wyatts retaining. I don't see either of them retaining. It's one of the other teams. Motor City Machine Guns, it would benefit, because then you could put more fire back on the machine guns are, in my opinion, like the War Raiders on Raw when they were champions, when they dethroned the Judgment Day. They were defending like almost every week, and I think that's what those titles need. Andrade and Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix is another one that, please do not make him too much dangerous things, because oh my god, he will go. Um, they're the new tag team. It wouldn't hurt them to get some gold to solidify them as a team. Fraxium is also a good pick because they're new to the roster, and it's about time. About time. They were actually should have. The Wyatts actually shouldn't have costed them their match against the Street Profits. But anyways, um, who else is in this match? Street Profits. It wouldn't be bad for them to regain the titles. I wouldn't be mad with it. I'm forgetting another team, aren't I? I feel like I'm forgetting another
Fraxium?
team. No, I said Fraxium.
I think you did get everybody.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think I did. I'm just excited for this match due to all of the talent in this match. I pray for everyone's well-being and hope no one gets seriously injured.
So who wins?
Oh, either it's just anyone except DIY the Wyatts.
Okay.
He said anyone except DIY and the Wyatt. I'm going the Wyatts.
You got a 33 and a third percent chance.
Toxic is over here doing that Steiner math in his head. Just goes, hey, anyway.
No, the hell I'm not. I suck at math.
Hey, so did Steiner. So, just say it there. But I'm going the Wyatt 6 for this. As Bludd said, they've had one defense that was interrupted by the rest of the SmackDown Tag Team division. I am going with the Wyatt 6. It's too soon. It just is. There's no possible way that on their second defense at the biggest SummerSlam of all time, the first ever 2-night SummerSlam, that they are going to make their tag team PLE debut. Because they have not really had any tag matches on a PLE until now. So I'm going with the Wyatt 6 on this. It just makes the most sense here. Plus, you want to keep them strong and prove that they are like an unstoppable group. Have them beat the entirety of the tag team division all at once. That would be one way to show how unstoppable they actually are.
Well, I can see why you guys would think that. I mean, yeah, it makes sense that the Wyatt 6 would retain because of what you just said, Tommy. This will prove that they're really unstoppable. But I think that could be a big problem because if the Wyatt 6 retain in a TLC match versus 5 other teams, every team on SmackDown, then there's no one else that can beat the Wyatt 6.
The Garza.
Nobody. I mean, I would love that, but I mean, if fucking 5 other teams can't beat Wyatt 6, you think the Garzas can? I don't think so.
Well, I think you got to think about the match too. It's not like these are one-on-ones or a fatal 5-way tag match. This is, you get lucky when there's an opening and win. I don't think it buries the rest of the division to the point where they're not able to challenge. They don't pose a threat to the Wyatts in the future. I think it's on that night, it's going to come down to who was lucky because they were in the right place at the right time on the top of that ladder. So I think I don't think it makes it so no one else can possibly stand up to the Wyatt 6 after this, because I think that because it's a ladder match, a tables match, and a chairs match, it kind of protects everybody else in defeat. It's not a straight in the ring, let's do this. It's you're not pinning me. You didn't tap me out. You climbed a ladder and grabbed something before I could. So I think there's a little bit of safety there.
Right, but just looking at this on an average standpoint, we got 12 people in this match, and the Wyatt 6 is like, what, 40% of the people? So the average just doesn't make sense. I'm trying to do Steiner math, that the Wyatt 6 would win this. I don't think it would make sense. Because this is a TLC match, this also protects the Wyatts if they don't win it. So I'm going to go with Fraxium because if you guys remember, Fraxium, when they came up, they were on a roll. They beat the Street Profits while they were champions in a non-title match. They got a title match, and I think it ended like in some type of DQ or something like that. And then they never got another title match ever again. So they're technically still like on a perfect streak, the Fraxium are. And what better way to put a young, fresh team over than at SummerSlam, the biggest SummerSlam of all time? Put it on Fraxium. That would be a great look for them. Andrade and Ray Phoenix is another team that stood out to me, but I think if Ray Phoenix is going to win tag team gold, I think it has to be with Penta. That's the only thing I feel like they should do with Ray Phoenix. But I think if White Six beat every single team on the tag team division on SmackDown, I think it's a huge mistake. So I'm going to go with Fraxium. Ooh. All right, you guys. We're almost done here. We got 2 more matches to go. The next match is a steel cage match for the United States Championship. And I'm torn on this one, you guys. Solo Sikoa, he's my boy. But Jacob Fatu is also Sacktown's finest from my hometown of Sacramento, California. So I don't know. But who do you guys got, Solo or Jacob?
This one's actually really easy for me to choose, surprisingly. Solo. Because he's had it less time than Jacob did. Jacob's the only person he's fucking feuded with since he's held it. And I think it needs more than just Jacob to be the person that is either holding it or feuding for it, because it's been on. Jacob has been in the United States title scene since like the month before WrestleMania. He needs to move on to something else. Solo can keep it because it gives Solo whatever little credibility he's able to hold on to. But I'm sorry. I think Solo needs to win. Jacob needs to move on and let Jimmy be the person to beat Solo for it. However, I think that it's a foregone conclusion. It's a steel cage match. You know what that means. The entire fucking run of the MFTs are going to fucking climb into that cage, rip the door off, come in. There's no DQs. The moment it looks like Jacob's going to win, someone's going to beat his ass back into the cage before he can touch the ground. He's going to try to climb over the top. They're going to be circling him like sharks. You know, like, I think either, and who do they have on their side? They've got fucking JC Mateo, Tala Tonga, Tonga Loa, fucking Solo Sikoa. And then on the other side, you only have Jacob Fatu and Jimmy fucking Uso. It's 2 on fucking what, 4? The only way I see this even remotely changing the odds in their favor is something no one's thought of. The return of Tama Tonga. I think the turn of Tama Tonga, and I said turn and not return, the face turn of Tama Tonga coming in for the clutch to even out the odds between Jimmy and Jacob, because as far as it's concerned, we haven't seen him in forever. He only had to go out for a hand issue. He's been gone for like, 4 months? That bitch is healed. I know, I've broken all of my fingers twice. So as far as it's concerned, because you think about it, how did Tonga Loa get injured like a month and a half before he did? But Tonga Loa has been back for literally 2 fucking months already almost. You know, they're saving Tama for a reason. And Tama, between him and Tonga, was getting over. That whole yeah. The crowd was eating him up. That sounds to me like Triple H goes, well, we could tell the story of you feeling like you were replaced because there's JC and Tala right there, replaced. And then it's a brother versus brother again. Tonga versus Tama, Solo versus Jimmy. Tag action leads to a singles competition. Jimmy gets the United States title. I think for that story purpose alone, Jacob needs to lose and move the fuck on to something else. Anything else with anyone else. Solo retains.
I was going to say Jacob Fatu, but then something popped into my mind. Jimmy would be out there to help fight off against the MFTs or whatever the hell you want to call them. We would get the return and the baby face turn of Tama Tonga to help fight off the MFTs, but that doesn't mean that Solo or Jacob is going to get help because they're still locked in that steel cage. So I think Solo retains. and then you make Tama in solo feud, move Jacob on to something else, probably push him to the world championship. That might be a stretch. I don't know. Um, I think Jacob's ready, but anyways, I think you have Tama be the one to take it off of solo. Before Jimmy is crazy, I know, but I just feel like that's where it all makes sense to me. You think about it, you have solo retain against Jacob, and then you have Tama and solo feud saying, "You replaced me with Jeff Cobb." I swear to God, I'm not calling him JC. Jeff Cobb and Talatonga. I will call Hikuleo Talatonga. That sounds way better than JC Mateo. Anyways, you replaced me with them two. I want that from you. I'm going to take it from you, and I'm going to make it better than you ever did. So to me, it makes sense for Solo just because Tama could take it off of Solo, and then if you want to, have Jimmy take it off of Tama. But I can see this going into something exciting.
Yeah, this is the easiest one on the card to call. I'm going Solo Sokoa. With the whole MFTs, my family trees. No, we're not calling them that. But I would not be surprised if Hikuleo comes out, grabs that steel cage door, and just rips
Kane.
the hinges. I would not be surprised in the slightest if he did that. Like, with everything that's going on, if you want to show, it's the same thing that I said with the Wyatt Six. Solo is trying to prove that he is this big man that cannot be stopped by Jacob Fatu. Let him beat Jacob. I'm with Bludd on this, where Jacob really just needs to take his loss and move the fuck on. Honestly, like, just go away. We do not want you with Solo Sikoa anymore. Just quit this feud and move the hell on, whether it's Intercontinental, which honestly I would kind of like to see that, I'm not going to lie. Whether it's world title, don't think he's quite ready for that, but he's getting close. But for this match, I am saying Solo Sikoa with the help of the family tree.
All right. Well, yesterday I was on the Heel Ship podcast. We did predictions on there as well, and I said Solo Sikoa last night, but I've changed my mind after hearing what everyone had to say. I'm gonna have to go with Jacob Fatu, not only because he's from my hometown, but if Solo Sikoa wins, which I would also like to see, by the way, because I love you, Solo. But if Jacob loses and he moves on to something else, what happens with Jimmy? What happens with Jimmy Uso? Is he's going to be left with a 4-on-1 situation? Who's going to help him? I just don't see Jacob Fatu moving on just yet. He is ready for the world title picture. I think Jacob Fatu, he's a veteran, he's definitely ready for that next level, but I just don't think it's time yet. I think I do believe that we will get a return or a return/turn from Tama Tonga. I think that's what's going to be the big help that Jacob Fatu is going to get to win the championship from Solo Sikoa. And I think that this storyline is going to continue for a little bit more because I don't see what else. You can't just drop the storyline. All right, Solo Sikoa wins. Jacob Fatu's done with this, and he's going to move on to something else. I don't see that happening. WWE doesn't usually just drop storylines like that. I think this is going to continue, especially if you bring back a Tama Tonga. Things get a little bit evened out a little bit more. So I'm going to go with Jacob Fatu winning this one. All right. The final match of the night, probably one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most. It's for the Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles, y'all.
I'm going to keep this brief, so we're not going to run over our hour here. As far as it's concerned, I think Dominic wins. I think he's going to win with the help of probably Finn and JD. I think it's pretty simple. As much as I would love to see an Intercontinental Championship run from AJ Styles in the year of our Lord 2025, the Lord being Cthulhu, I think Dom needs to. I think everybody in the Judgment Day needs to hold their titles until Liv comes back. I think it serves the story. It has to be about the overarching story. Liv needs to come back and see that they were better off without her in order for her to fully crack, because I do think they're going to turn Liv face. So I think in service of the Judgment Day story, when you listen to Finn, we win. I think it's Dominic.
Just mine's a little bit longer than what Blood is. I think AJ. I think AJ because one, Dominic isn't even defending the title. That's a workhorse mid-card title. If you're not gonna defend that almost every week, I'm not saying defend it every week and work your ass off, even though yes, it would be nice, but no, don't. That's a workhorse title. You gotta be like consistent with that. That's what AJ is. AJ's he would most likely, if if he got the opportunity to, he would defend that shit every week like Seth Rollins did with his first World Heavyweight Championship run. That's not related. Anyways, and plus SummerSlam is just not good for the Judgment Day. For instance, 2023, that's where we first started to see the cracks. 2024, the implosion, and they kicked Damian and Rhea out. What if, and hear me out, what if they kicked Dom out for losing the title? I would be down. Yes, it wouldn't be smart if you want to go the 2.0 version of what you did with Rhea and Liv. If you want to just have a 2.0 version of that, but with Roxanne instead of Liv, and you put Liv in Rhea's spot, which I don't feel like seeing that again. So I think AJ wins. Finn and JD come out to like, hey, it's okay, and then they end up turning on Dom. So I'm excited to see where I'm excited for everything on this card.
I am going to agree with Toxic here. I am going with the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Here's my thought process here. We all agree that Cody is probably going to win that title back. My thought process here is this. There's one match that we haven't had a run back yet with Cena on this little farewell tour that everybody wants. And everybody also wants him to complete the set. What if AJ beats Dom this weekend? Eventually, sometime within this farewell tour, he finally goes head-to-head with Cena once again. And that's where John Cena finally finishes off his set. The Intercontinental title, we've already said this multiple times over. That is the only title that John Cena needs. I think that is how we get AJ Styles versus John Cena for a run back.
If I may, really quickly, the only reason I do not like that at all is because that automatically makes AJ a transitional champion, and John also becomes an immediate transitional champion because he will have to drop that shit in less than like 8 days or 8 appearances by the time he leaves. And I think that sullies the title.
Yeah. As much as I would love to see Cena versus AJ, yeah, I don't need to see it for an Intercontinental Championship. Again, I'm gonna switch up on these predictions. Last night on the heel shit, I said Dominic. I think Dominic could use this win more than AJ. It'll, establish Dominic as like a real, even more real champion. It seemed like he's getting better and better. He's not usually as like chicken shit as he was at first. But I think because of what Dominic pulled off in Mexico, I think Dominic, he's going to be a champion again in AAA. So I believe AJ Styles is going to win now that I think about it even more. And it makes sense too with what Toxic was saying. If Dominic loses, that could also contribute to the story that they're telling in the Judgment Day. Hey, you're not carrying gold. You're not carrying your weight in the team anymore. So that could be interesting. Dominic is over in Mexico. He can, win a title over there. AJ Styles can win the Intercontinental Championship one last time. His career is almost done. So, and we can get some good matches out of AJ as an Intercontinental Champion. So I'm gonna go with AJ Styles. I changed my mind on 2 matches, just 2 matches. But that was yesterday. That was in the past. I'm a different person today.
I'm the odd man out on a lot of these. I'm the odd man out on a lot of these predictions tonight.
Yeah. But yeah, that was night 2 for SummerSlam, you guys. 6 matches, 2 nights, 12 matches total. Quick Steiner Maz. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was good to do this predictions with you guys, and we will be back again soon. Mr. Bludd, if you will, take us out of here.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here on another episode of Snug Wrestling, our night 2 predictions for this weekend's biggest ever, first ever 2-night event, SummerSlam, starting this Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then whatever your Central and Standard times are. However, if you like more wrestling content and want to see us more often, follow our podcast on all platforms. That is at Snug Wrestling everywhere. We go live every Monday and Friday nights after Raw and SmackDown respectively go off their respective air times, and then we review them. If you also like reaction content during the actual shows, our beloved host here, Snug, Edgar, will be posting live reactions during the actual shows as they actually are taking place, if reaction content is your thing. You can also join myself and Edgar here, the leader of Snug Wrestling, every single Thursday night on TikTok Live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, where we do one-on-ones for random topics related to wrestling. And this Thursday, really quick, what do we have, Snug?
We're going to be talking about the Unreal documentary. They leaked the WrestleMania card that was supposed to happen that we didn't see. So we're going to be going over the matches that we could have gotten at WrestleMania 41. What if these matches actually happened? And just kind of compare to what we actually saw to what they had planned originally.
Perfect. And that is going to be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on TikTok Live. Don't miss that. And you can catch us live wherever you get your podcast on Apple and Spotify. We are kicking up a storm everywhere we're going. Downloads galore. Lovely fanfare. Growing like crazy, like weeds in a garden, but you don't want to get rid of us. You just want more of us. And lastly, we are no longer streaming this show live throughout the week on TikTok itself. We will instead be on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitter/X, but you can always get the recap shows and download your podcast, your favorite podcast, us, at Apple and Spotify. Remember to stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. And boys, that was one time for the one time. 4 letters.
4 letters.
One word.
Oh.
Yeet.